I have the privilege of being the legislative appointee to the Trauma Foundation. And my good friend from the Lehigh Valley, my Democrat colleague who spoke earlier, is my counterpart on that. The Senate also has two appointments. It's a unique opportunity to oversee and accredit trauma centers here in the Commonwealth. In fact, our current board makeup and process is a national model. But as is often the case sometimes in Harrisburg, laws don't always get updated as quickly as they should. And recent research has shown the #1 driving indicator of whether or not trauma programs are successful in having quality outcomes for their patients is in fact related to the volume of patients that they see. The American College of Surgeons has set standards which are mirrored both in our current law as well as the new proposal regarding the quality of patient care. In order to become good at something, you need to see a sufficient number of patients in that category in order to be successful. Mr. Speaker, what this proposal would do would increase the volume requirements related to Level 2 centers, which is new. The 25-mile point that was raised earlier actually exists in the current law already for Level 3 centers. Because one of the concerns in determining whether or not you have a sufficient volume of patients to hit that maximization of trauma services being provided is whether or not you have a large enough area in order to draw patients from. Hence, the reason for the 25-mile circle previously, because it does not benefit anyone in either hospital, but most importantly the patient, if you have two programs that fail to meet the volume benchmarks, because then you have two programs that could struggle to meet the quality indicators. So in order to ensure the proficiency, we must ensure that the volumes remain high. Volumes are ensured by first the mileage restriction, because the way the accreditation process works is you do not get trauma patients until you're already an accredited trauma center. The way that you will be able to do it under this current proposal is first, if you're 25 miles away from an existing trauma center, Level 1, 2, or 3, you would then have the opportunity to apply, or thanks to the amendment that we worked on with the good gentleman from the Lehigh Valley earlier and unanimously put into the bill, if there's an excess volume of patients above and beyond the required patients for the existing programs in the region, that would also ensure that there's a patient pool large enough to maintain that level of proficiency. The board worked for the better part of 2.5 years on this proposal, relying on research that followed the national standards. This is now the culmination of that. I certainly appreciate everyone's assistance through the amendment process and the legislative process. I'm happy to answer any questions about the underlying bill, but I believe that this is another step in providing high-quality trauma care to all individuals here in the Commonwealth by ensuring that they have access to such a system, and for promoting the development of rural centers, Level 4 trauma centers in those underserved areas, predominantly in the rural areas of the Commonwealth as it currently stands. For those reasons, I would urge the members' support, because I believe that every Pennsylvanian deserves access to quality trauma care.